Hey folks, welcome back to my channel. My name is Robert and I'm known as the Crystal Druid on here and on Instagram. And today we're going to be doing a protection candle. So I've got a whole bunch of goodies on the table. Now bear in mind, for a protection candle you really just need a black candle. But I have a lot going on because I want to show you some different techniques and some different methods to really amplify that as well. So I'm going to go over everything here, and then afterwards I'm going to bring you guys closer to me so that way we can do the candles together and you can see what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So I'm going to go over everything for you in a little bit, but without further ado, we have a black taper candle. Now, black taper candles are great for protection. You can use a black chime candle as well. If I'm doing a working just for the day, then a taper candle or a chime candle is perfect. But if I'm doing a bigger working, like say I need protection for like a week or a month or anything ongoing, or protection for somebody else, I might use a 7-day candle, which are a little larger. They're usually in the glass case and you can find them at any supermarket. I usually will go to any of the occult shops here in Salem because I live here and I get to support the small businesses, but whatever's accessible for you, definitely go for it. I have a little taper candle holder as well. I'm going to pop that in too. And then next up, I have a bowl of water. So the reason for the bowl of water is for 2 reasons. One of which is fire safety. You don't want to burn your home down. So just make sure that if the candle were to tip over for whatever reason, it's in a dish full of water. Fire's not going anywhere. But also because water is an amplifier of energy. So by putting the candle in the water, it's going to basically boost that protective energy. So very handy. Next up, I have some black salt for protection. So this is a staple. I use black salt for protection like every day. I don't put it directly onto soil though. Make sure that if you're using black salt outside, that it's just put in a dish and not on the soil directly, because that can actually mess with the pH of the soil and it's not good for the environment. I didn't know that until someone told me, so figured I'd share that with you just in case, just to be safe. Protection, here we go. I also have a protection herbal blend that I've made myself. Some of the herbs inside are clove, hawthorn berry, nettle. Those are some staples I use, but if you don't have herbs like that at home, you just have a spice rack in the kitchen, and maybe you are still in the broom closet as it were and can't really practice openly, some things you can use at home that are really helpful are rosemary, black pepper, and regular table salt. Those are all great for protection. They're accessible to everybody. And that way, if your family doesn't know and you can't practice openly, it's a way for you to safely practice without actually having them be like, what's up with all the spices, you know? You could be like, oh, I'm making some toast or whatever. You can eat those herbs. You can eat black pepper when you're making scrambled eggs. If you are a vegetarian, maybe you do some rosemary in a salad. There's ways to incorporate protection magic into your life without people even realizing you're doing it. So I'm going to make a video on coming out of the broom closet and what to do if you're still in it but want to practice still as well, so stay tuned for that. But meanwhile, back to here. I do have a little cauldron that I'm going to be using to cleanse the space of any energy. Now, you can cleanse it of negative energy or positive. I use white sage because it clears out both. It just clears out all energy, so it gives you a clean slate. Now, I'll be using the loose leaf sage, but if you can't have any smoke in your space for whatever reason, Stella Luna in Connecticut actually makes a really great sage spray. You can spritz this around, and then that way you have the area cleansed, but there's no smoke, and there's also no hint of it if, again, you are in the broom closet, as it were. I do have a little lighter to actually light the candle with. You can use matches as well, whatever works for you. I've got some quartz crystal pieces. These are like nice little batteries. They're gonna boost whatever I'm doing. So I'm gonna be placing these into the bowl with the candle and the herbs. So you'll see it all together. Lastly, I have my athame. So I'm using the athame to direct energy from the herbs into the candle, direct my energy into the candle as well, for an extra boost of protection as well. These aren't for cutting, these actually represent the element air. So without further ado, I'm going to bring you guys closer to me and then we'll get this all set up and I will show you how to make a protection candle. This is just one method, remember. There are many ways you can do it, but at the end of the day, you could use just a simple black candle and that's all you need. But this is just to kind of show you some more options. Welcome up close. So we're going to start by cleansing the whole area. So we have our little cauldron and we have the spray, which we're going to actually set aside for now because I'm not going to use the spray. I wanted to show it as an example, but I'm going to use some sage, which is the smoke form of it. Let's get a little piece out, just one or two. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and light these and put them out. right into the cauldron itself. So there's that one. And that one. There we go. And what we're going to do basically is just run all the things that we're using through the smoke, just to kind of cleanse it of all of its energy. So we've got our candle, we've got our candle holder as well. Then we have our vessel of water. And I'm going clockwise, representing from this point on, this is what I want. You can do it however you feel, but that's the way that I do it. I just find it works for me. And there we go. And just run everything right through the smoke that you're going to be using. The only exceptions being the herbal blend and the salt, because those ones are already cleansed. And there we go. Okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll set this aside over here for now, and then we can get started. So anything we've already used, we're just going to put aside and out of the way. And now what we're going to do is we're actually going to go ahead and place our candle right into the water with the holder as well. And now we have a fire-safe dish. And what we want to do basically is just focus our energy on protection. And while we're focusing our thoughts on that, we're going to place the quartz into the bowl of water as well. And what these are going to do is basically just act as an amplifier to our working. This quartz is like a big old battery. So those are all in there. And we've got our candle secure. Next up, what we're going to want to do is work with our herbs. So, now that we already got everything else cleansed, we're going to go ahead and basically just scoop a little bit into our water, into the dish. There we go. Get it kind of all around. Now you don't have to use a ton. A little goes a long way. So once you feel like you have enough herbs in there, then you are golden. Go ahead and set that to the side as well, along with our thame. Okay, so while we're doing this, we're going to be focusing on the idea of protection and what we're trying to protect. So it could be protection for yourself from weird situations at work. It could be protecting your chances at getting a new job. It's just the idea of protection as a whole, keeping you safe and making sure that nothing's going to kind of get in your way or mess things up in your life. So now we're going to use our black salt and form a circle around all of this as well. And circle's probably not going to be perfect because I am not the most coordinated person, but the idea basically is to make a barrier around the whole thing. Once you've got that, you're golden. So now, we're going to go ahead and focus on the candle and what we have going on for protection. Now, some things you can add to it if you want. You can add more quartz around it. You could do a crystal grid, which I have a video coming up on as well. You could add black tourmaline for protection. There are a lot of correspondences. I didn't go over everything in this video because it's a lot of information, and I wanted to make sure this was accessible and doable for you. And remember, at the end of it, you could just use a simple black candle, but I find that this is handy as a whole for me because I like to add as much boost as I can to any magical working I'm doing. So what you're going to do basically is just go ahead and light our candle. Just be careful with your fingers, don't be like me. There we go. And then you let it light. And you just focus on protection while it's lighting up. And you can sit here and meditate with your candle for a couple of minutes. You could wait till it burns down completely in meditation if you prefer. For me, I like to kind of sit here for a couple of minutes just looking into the candlelight, focusing my intention on protection, and just basically having the ideas of comfort, safety, and making sure that nothing is going to kind of come up and mess up my life at all. So, hence protection. We all need it. We need protection every day. So this is a really easy way to do it. And it looks nice too. So you have something nice in your room where you can be like, this is nice, I like this. But the purpose of it is for protection at the forefront of it. So this is how I do a protection candle. There are many ways. I'd love to know what methods you use if you already do them yourself, so feel free to let me know in the comments below. And thank you for tuning in. And I have some more videos coming up as well for different protection topics. So things like protection stones, all kinds of goodies. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, thank you for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you are new here, feel free to like and subscribe. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you for watching again.